Welcome back to Duel Masters Senpai Legends. At the end of the last episode, we were about to duel our friend Clark so that we could learn the rules because our character apparently forgot them. Okay, so the objective of the game is to use mana to cast spells and summon creatures into your battle zone. Attack your opponent with your creatures. If a creature isn't blocked, it breaks a shield. If we break all of the opponent's shields and then attack him once more, we win the game. So that's where this differs from Magic the Gathering, where you have life. In this case, we have shields. So each player uses a 40-card deck, which isn't standard. Usually, other card games have 60. And then it tells you we can go to the management screen to construct and edit decks. And I don't have an instruction manual, so that's not useful to me. At the start of the game, 5 cards are taken from your deck to be used as your shields. 5 cards are also taken from your deck to be used as your starting hand. Alright, we're gonna duel. In the first turn, phase all mana and creature cards you used tapped since the beginning of your last turn are untapped to show that you can use them again. And what that means, tapping, you just turn the card sideways. Next, you draw 1 card from your deck and add it to your hand. Note, if you play first, you do not get to draw. You can take 1 card from your hand each turn and put it into the mana zone. So again, a little bit different from Magic the Gathering, where you have specifically land cards that you put in your mana zone. In this case, any card can function as mana, which I kind of enjoy that idea a lot more. So mana is like money that you use to pay for bringing creatures and spells out of your hand. Once a card is in your mana zone, it loses all its abilities and can only generate mana. You do not have to put a card in the mana zone each turn, you can skip this step. If you have enough mana, you can summon creatures from your hand. First select a creature from your hand, then select the mana cards that you will use to pay for that creature, which comes in handy because if you use multiple color cards, it lets you dictate how you want to spend your mana. At least one of the cards that you tap has to be the same color as the creature you're summoning. Press the R button to summon the creature into the battle zone. It has summoning sickness on the turn that it is summoned and cannot attack that turn. Casting spells works just like summoning creatures, but spells don't go into the battle zone. They just do what they do and then go straight to the graveyard. After you summon all the creatures and cast all the spells that you want, it's time for the battle phase. Select the first creature that you want to attack with, then select its target. Your creature will be tapped to show that it's attacked this turn. You can attack as many creatures as you want, but they must attack one at a time, which is completely different from Magic, where all creatures that you want to attack in that turn have to attack at the same time. Some creatures have restrictions or special abilities during their attacks. For more information, see advanced rules. Blah blah blah. So you can attack tapped creatures and opponent, or an opponent. Hold on. You can attack a tapped creature, an opponent's shield, or the opponent if he or she has no shields left. Some creatures can attack untapped creatures. Remember to read the cards to learn about a creature's special abilities. So again, a difference from Magic the Gathering, you could never attack a creature unless the ability of your creature said so. It was always that your creatures were attacking the opponent, and the opponent could block if they chose. And blocking is a mechanic that does stay in this game. So if your opponent has creatures that can block, he or she can choose a creature to block your attacker. If your opponent has no blockers, the attack is successful. When 2 creatures battle, compare their power ratings. The creature with the highest power rating wins the battle. The losing creature goes to its owner's graveyard. If both creatures have the same power rating, both creatures are sent to the graveyard, which is really intuitive. When all of your opponent's shields are gone, attack him. Oh, it didn't do the him or her that time. Interesting fact, the physical cards never mention a her, so it's kind of sexist. Once you make all your attacks, your turn is over and it's your opponent's turn. Okay, good. So, it's going to teach us about what the screen looks like, the graphic interface. Sounds important. This icon shows you how many cards you have in your deck. This icon shows you how many shields you still have. This one is your hand, and then your mana. And then on the other side is the opponent's stuff, and the icon shows the current players. This is your mana zone, so those numbers will change. So if I have like 3 fire mana, then Sub-Zero, and red bubble will say 3. Pretty intuitive. So after receiving 5 cards in your hand, you can see their names by using the control pad. Some information is displayed on the card. The yellow color means it's a light card, blue for water, etc. The first number indicates how many mana that you need to tap to summon it. The second is the power, and then the third means that it has special abilities. So, real quick, the blue circle means that it's a blocker. If it's got a blue circle with a dash through it, that means it can't be blocked. The skull, I think, is Slayer. The lightning bolt is shield trigger, and I don't really remember what the other ones are, so we'll get to those. So you can see the name of the creature by using the control pad to cycle through the cards. To view cards details, select it and press select. This card indicates a blocker. Blockers get in between an attacking creature and its intended target. This icon indicates a Slayer. Okay, so maybe I'll go through all of the different ones. Double breakers break 2 shields. Shield triggers you can play immediately if you receive them from the shield zone. Okay, so now I'm going to play a little demonstration match with Eric. Watch our game to learn the rules in action. Ugh, this is just like in Pokemon where they make you sit through the guy capturing a Weedle. Okay, so they played mana, played some more mana, and this guy's gonna summon a creature. Iokint the Oracle. I'm probably actually gonna butcher these names. I just pronounced them from when I was a child, and maybe some of them are right. I feel like the anime pronounced a lot of names wrong. Okay, so what's going on? I wasn't really paying attention. Okay, so he summoned a guy. This guy played mana, and he's gonna summon Riasol the Oracle, so he's tapping the 2 mana that are required for that. And he has to end his turn because typically blockers aren't allowed to attack. In the Water Civilization, they typically just can't attack at all. And then in the Light Civilization, blockers can typically attack creatures but can't attack players. So that's another difference between the Light and Water Civilization that I mentioned earlier. Alright, so those guys just obliterated each other. The opponent on the left chose to block the attack that was coming in. So playing some more mana here. Summoning another Riasol the Oracle. So, a little bit of lore. These guys are summoning things with the title Oracle. Their creature race is called Lightbringer. They're kind of the heads of the Light Civilization. They're super ancient. What they do is, when they get older, they transfer their consciousness into these mechanical things. They're usually circular and got some extensions off them. So they've got tons of knowledge. They're not very powerful, but there's got to be something about them that's important since they're the leaders of the Light Civilization. Probably their intelligence and wisdom. So previously the guy summoned Meal, Vizier of Lightning. He was allowed to tap a creature. It wasn't really useful. Then the other guy summoned a Senatine Jade Tree, which is a pretty powerful blocker. Ugh, this is just gonna go on forever, isn't it? And I've actually gotta pause it, so this video is kind of boring, but tutorials typically tend to be. So, I'll go ahead and pause it and pick it back up for next episode.